Is that all right, Sam? Oh, great, great. Okay, well, welcome everyone to the 2019 Craig Roberts Memorial Invitation. Here from a very, very sunny and lovely evening at Rhos Park Bowling Club. We're down to the last four, and we'll take you through the scores of the quarterfinals. But first of all, I'd just like to introduce my co-commentator, Mike Chamberlain. Welcome, Mike.
Good evening, Roger.
Good evening. I'm sure you're enjoying the bowling so far, and some interesting quarterfinals. I'll just run through the scores and I'll just get your views of the games, Michael. So Simon Coupe beat Glenn Cookson 21-12 in the first quarterfinal. The second quarterfinal was Wayne Ditchfield, who beat who's the holding champion, defending champion, beat Callum Wright, who's also won this before, 21-9. Kevin Shaw, first time in the competition, had an incredible game against John Bailey, but lost in the end 21-20. And Tommy Johnstone beat Matt Gilmore 21-18, and again another excellent game. But who's caught your eye so far, Michael?
Well, I think Wayne played absolutely marvellous. Every end he was right on the jack. Very impressive him, and now he's going to play Coupe, who beat Cookson, who's already won this competition 2 or 3 times. So this is going to be a really cracking semi-final.
Yes, I think you're right, and looks like Wayne Ditchfield's really taken to this green. Obviously the defending champion, and it looks like somebody who doesn't want to give it up easily this evening.
That's right, and then in the other semi-final we've got John Bailey, the Welsh wizard, and he's playing Tombo. Again, can't really pick who's going to win that game. I know the crowd is going to go for Bailey. He was one of the favourites from the off. Which way can you see that going, Roger?
Oh, as I say, again, very, very good. I was impressed with Tommy, the way he came back, because I think he was down at one stage against Matt Gilmore, but really dug in and turned it around at the death. A typical Tommy Johnstone performance, really turning up some big bowls at the end of the game to just get over the line. John had a real tussle with Kevin Shaw, not playing probably his best early on, but he still found a way to win. Kevin Shaw really did nothing wrong, and he'll be scratching his head wondering how he lost that game. So, in short, I find it very difficult to call. But I think maybe the home knowledge, green knowledge of John, having played much more games on the green, just gives him an edge over Tommy. But dear me, you're back against Tommy at your peril, don't you, Michael?
You do. I just want to mention about Kevin. I mean, he's not been on this green before. Tremendous performance. Always looked like we were going to win there until Bailey come in and got a 2 for a 21-20 win. I think that little bit of green knowledge has just got John over the line. Yeah,
and you know, if you're going to do well in these competitions, I always say there's a point when you're staring defeat in the face, and somehow you just manage to pull something out, get over the line. The last end, John was lying 1 down. Kevin was lying game with a good ball on a quick mark, and John just picked up the jack and just moved it enough to lie 2 on a measure. And Kevin, well, as I say, came off scratching his head, wondering, well, what do I have to do?
Gutsy player, Kevin. You know what he's like.
Yeah.
But John, he's very cool under pressure, and he's not picked that jack up. He's tittled that jack. Yes. He's only moved it about an inch, yes. And to get a measure for 2 for game, it's soul destroying for Kevin.
No, it's absolutely tremendous. We're in the 6th year of this competition, and once again it's a charity event raising money this year, and obviously all at the chosen charity of Craig Roberts' family's choosing. And this year the charity is Combat Stress, which is the charity which assists with veterans' mental health. So it's all in a great cause. Top players from around the Crown Green bowling world have all come out to support this. All really made possible by Daniel Jones, who he does a great job every year. We've got a good crowd out. So pleased that the weather's turned out, because it's been an awful week this week, hasn't it, Mike? In terms of the weather, unfortunately.
It certainly has. It's not helped my bowling to say the least. But I must say the green is looking fabulous. At the start of the year, it was a bit bumpy. I played on here, but it's got better and better, and it's running beautiful.
It's a credit to Rhos Park Bowling Club, and Glyn Jones, who does the green here, along with other people that help out. They should be really proud of the way it's running. It looks to be running really, really well. And I know you like a running green.
I like a quick green, you know that.
Yeah,
but I don't mind when it's really underwater. In fact, I came here on Wednesday night and it was underwater.
Right.
And they wouldn't let me on because they didn't want me bouncing the balls.
Right.
And well,
yeah,
I was up for it. But
yeah,
they were so keen on keeping the green.
Keeping it nice, especially with this event in mind. Anyway, let's have a look at the scores. They've both just set off in the semi-finals. So the first game, we have game one. So Simon Coupe leads Wayne Ditchfield, just changing the score. So it's Simon Coupe 3, Wayne Ditchfield 2. And in the second semi-final, we've got John Bailey 1, slightly obscured numbering here, but John Bailey 1, Tommy Johnstone 4. So let's have a look first at two great friends playing here in Wayne and Simon, both from the Preston area, know each other very, very well. Both play the county bowls for North Lancs and Fylde. Top CVs of both of them. Probably the amount of things they've won between them. Well, I don't think you'd fit it on one long page, but it should be a cracker. Who do you fancy for this one?
I knew you were going to say that. It's a toss of the coin. They're both serial winners. They both played very well. I think Ditchfield played slightly better, so I'm gonna have 50p on Ditchfield.
Right. Oh, you're on.
Right, 50p I'm having.
I'm
a big spender.
I'll have 50p
Okay.
with you. I'll go to
Right,
the bank.
so
I'll go to the bank later if that's all right.
I hope he starts playing now. I'll give him the nod, Ditchfield.
Right. Well, Simon Coupe was very impressive against Glyn Cookson in the quarter-final. I mean, Glyn's, let's not forget, is a 3-time winner of this competition. I mean, it's been going for the past 5 years, and Glyn's won it 3 of the 5 years. But Simon beat him 21-12, and that's no mean feat. So yes, I'll take you up on that bet of 50p. And Simon's just gone into this corner. It's just nibbled the jack and might have stayed in. Wayne's having a look in the far corner.
Not giving anything away.
No, the body language doesn't say anything there, does it?
Usually you can tell the body language, or you can tell if I'm playing, I'm throwing the mat or something. Or my rag or
cursing that nibble on the jack if your opponent's.
My caps are all over Stockport.
Correct.
We still don't know. It's going to be measure.
Yeah.
We're having a discussion.
That's
we've got
body language is neutral.
DT's coming in. He'll sort him.
Yes, Mr. DT Evans, who's refereeing this competition for the 6th year, and DT is such a well-respected referee. As I say, in my opinion, I've said many times, I think DT has now risen to be one of the top referees, if not the top referee in the game now. I think he's so well known and respected by the players, and it's great to see him here again officiating.
He can play a bit as well.
He can, yes.
Yeah, he can play a bit. I played him in the vets, and he done me on Flandono, and he give it the clinch face.
DT, he used to be, years ago, he used to be our captain at Craigadon Bowling Club. Keen as mustard and some player. And I tell you what, Michael, when he put a Welsh shirt on his back and played for Wales, he used to rub them all out. It was really. I remember watching him beat Mike Leach on Minadon. I mean, I'm going back a few years, but DT was formidable, and definitely just sort of like one game, as I say, with a Welsh shirt on his back. You'd back him against. Didn't matter who the reputation was. He would deliver on the day.
Well, I've got to say, it's nice for Wales now to start getting a few wins under the belt. They didn't qualify for the semi-finals this year, but they did win 2. They beat Manchester, my old county, which was a tremendous win.
Yeah, I think they needed that because I think they've had 2 really sort of years of struggling within the groups, but yeah, a much improved performance this year, and you know, with any luck now that they can kick on a little bit more, and it's just about building confidence.
Well, they've got the players, Rog, because, you know, I've been playing here now about 3 years, and they have the players. It's just, have they got the quality of greens that you need for county bowling?
That's the problem.
Not really sure they have.
No, yeah, I do agree. I think that's it. And to have a campaign, a successful campaign at county level, you've got to have greens for 5 matches. And that's where Wales just start to struggle when there's been a couple of occasions they've got to the semi-finals and then they've sort of run out of greens to choose. But we can always live in hope. And they've sorted out that end before. With,
and back to the games. There's still nothing in it.
Yeah, Wayne's just counted one along an edge now, so I think he's leading out the jack now, 3-4. And he's taken Simon now in the opposite corners to where Simon wanted to go. So, well actually, sorry, Simon went along the edge, and then
Wayne played these corners against Callum with perfection.
Yeah.
So that's what he's going for again.
Yes.
He's not quite led one this time. It's not bad.
Yeah. I think Simon has probably seen that and thought, well, I'll just try him along an edge. But as I say, very, very, very early days yet. But if Wayne gets into the run as he did against Callum in these corners, he'll take some stopping.
Be interested to know who the favourite is in this match. I looked on the odds before, and I mean, for the sweep, Bailey was joint favourite.
Yeah, and
Callum has gone now.
Yeah.
So Coupe was 3-1 at the start of the day. Ditchfield was 5-1. Ditchfield had the tougher draw.
Yeah.
I think it's take your pick, really.
Yes, I think you're right. Okay, so we're now being joined by our first guest, and Kevin Shaw has joined us here. And I just wanted to say, Kevin,
what were you doing last end?
Well,
is that what you're going to say?
Not really.
Well, no. We
did praise him.
Actually, we did
praise him.
Praise from you, Mike.
I know you're a Bolton fan.
Yeah, believe it or not, we spoke very, very highly about your game. I thought it was a great game to watch, and it was, you know, I was saying at the end, you can count yourself very, very unlucky to have just come out the wrong side of a 21-20 result.
He's played a good ball, Kevin, there, hasn't he? He's nibbled the jack.
Yeah, I mean, last end is what it is. I've had 2 leads from being 19, 17, and then from 20. Neither of those leads are inside, 4 feet. And I feel like I'm saying the same things that I said after the Champions final. If you don't lead, you don't win.
No.
And that's what happened at the end of that game as well. But I really felt like I should have won there. I really do feel like I should have won it. It just needed closing out. Even the end, 3 ends from home, I've got 1. Probably ought to have had 2. John's given me 4 foot of room. I haven't licked it with a lead. Drifted one in with a second.
A little bit that you felt you should have been off the green before that last end?
Not when you're on there, because you're just looking to bang one on top of the jack and get off. But you shake their hand and stand at the side of the green and think, blimey, he should have been up. But no, fair play. I mean, John knows this green inside out. My first time on it, I've had a good hour and a half practice. Worked out what I wanted to do on it, and it sort of nearly came off. I've been watching your videos for the last 5 years, so every bowl that John Bailey sent.
You haven't had a lot to do then.
No, listen, mate. Every bowl that John Bailey sent that you've recorded, I've watched it, so I know what he wants to do on it. I just had to try and stop him, and I didn't quite manage it. So.
No, but what did you think of the surface of the green?
Oh, it's beautiful.
The running of the green?
It's really, really nice. I mean, it is an easy green to drop one short on. I have to say, there's a few sort of subtle hills, and I guess there's a few areas where it's just going to trickle on afterwards as well, and that's it helps if you know them.
Yeah. Well, me and Roger were talking before. We say it's a really good competition green, but it's not a really good own green. You won't want this as your own green, but to come and not play on it and then play well.
Yeah, it's
Give
fair.
Yourself a chance.
It's fair. I think
it's a fair green. It's a good competition green.
With an hour's practice, hour and a half's practice, the lads who are being invited to this, they're going to pick it up and make a go of it. I think it was Simon's first time in it last year. Yeah. If memory serves me right, he's beat Callum on the way to the final before he's lost to Wayne, so he's never been on the green. And made a good fist of it, and he obviously go in here again. So, yeah, I think it's fair. I think it's a good handicap green. The bowls in the main, they go where you put them. It's not a bump on it, and it's absolutely beautiful, and it's fantastic playing in front of a crowd like this. Yeah, you've got a crowd on all sides, and it doesn't really matter who they're shouting for. They're all shouting against me, but it's still good. Still an atmosphere, you know. Exactly. I did have a couple in the far corner that they said the panel. The panel. Exactly, Roger. The bookmakers. Yeah. They were desperate for me to win. Yeah.
They were going to leave with a satchel. Getting the satchel ready to run out of Wales.
As it is now, I think they're worried again because Bailey's still going. Yeah.
But on the whole, they are fairly quiet. The crowd. It's not like you're playing in Manchester or a county match.
Oh, it's not Warwick and Worcester, is it?
No. But we're posh here, in Rhos.
You've settled here, Michael, haven't you? You've really taken to the Welsh air.
It's all the cycling in it, Mike. You do a bit of that, don't you?
I'm doing a lot of cycling. Yes.
Yes.
Who's going to win it, lads? Anyway, who's going to win it? What were the tips at the beginning, and who's getting it all right?
I didn't tip you, Kevin. Sorry.
It doesn't surprise me, Mike.
Well, I had to go for Bailey because left-hander, you see. We're in the left-handers, so I've got to go for Bailey.
Oh, that's both of you. I hadn't realised. Oh, jeez. Here's the microphone. I'm off.
Who did you go for, Roger, then, from the start?
From the start, well, you had to say John, with his green knowledge, looked a strong prospect in the bottom half, and in the top half, well, it was,
it was a bit red hot, that top half, wasn't it?
It was with a 3 times former winner in Glenn Cookson. Playing Simon and Wayne Ditchfield, the defending champion, so it's hard to see who was going to come out of that. So as you'd say, John, on the face of it, was the favourite at the off. I think that was reflected by the bookmakers, and I tell you what, they would have been, as I say, jumping up and down if he'd gone in the quarterfinals. But anyway,
we had Bailey and Wright were joint favourites at 5-2, and Callum's now gone. And I've got to say, I had Callum in the other half, so... Now, we've got a 50p bet, Roger, on one game. What about the other?
No, this is a
I'll give you first choice.
I will go for my fellow compatriot and John Bailey, and I'll be very predictable. So you've got to give me first choice for the other 50p then, Michael, and against Tommy Johnstone, and the score as we look at it is. John Bailey is at the moment behind, so there you go. I'm still going for John, but he's 6'11" down, and he's going to have to go up through the gears, I think, here. But
so you could owe me a quid in it.
I could.
Proper stakes. That's what I like to
the bank again.
Double the quits in the final, then.
How about yourself, Kev? Have you got a sort of an overall fancy now?
Tip to win it. Mm-hmm. You put me on the spot here. Gone really, really quiet. Do you know what? I'll go with you. I'll go Bailey. Go Bailey. I know he's a few behind. He's got to get it back, but he probably had more games on this green than anybody. And as the sun goes off it, and it starts holding a bit, he might be the one that just. And doesn't lose his length.
He's already picked up one title this week. He's sending plenty of bowls in the Colwyn Bay Festival, and I think he's always thereabouts. He's lost in a couple of finals now. And anyway,
having said that, Tommy's just put another on, and Bailey's looking like he's half a dozen behind. So He does
Well,
have it to
I
do.
can respect your knowledge in bowls, but I'm going to go the other way. I'm going whoever wins in the other half, I'll have them for a quid.
There we go.
Roger, our man's just played one.
Yes, he has indeed. That's a real pressure ball from John there.
Your 50p's looking a bit better than it did 2 minutes
full
ago.
corners, the yard bowl, you know, and any sort of like normal standard game, you'd be thinking I'm counting that ball in these big corners, but John has pulled one out there, so now he's got the jack back and leading out at 7-11.
And
really
the other peg,
that.
Roger. That's the thing.
Yes.
The other peg.
So where's he go? Does he go down this
He
edge?
came in his finger there.
John does like the edges, but no, I think he's going up the middle of the green.
He's going. And
Yes. So he's not going quite full corners, but he's actually using his left hand, playing a straight peg underneath the ground. Now this is a very good mark for a left-hander because it does climb up to the jack, and for a right-hander you've got to be right on it. It's a little bit of a knife edge. John's just overplayed it slightly, 4 foot over. Looks as though gone down the hill a little bit.
I think he's going for this edge, this front edge here where the stand is. He plays
Does
that
like
edge
it a
a
lot.
lot.
He does. You're absolutely right.
And I
Right.
think if he gets in here, that's where he's going.
You see what's happened there to Tommy's ball. He's just sort of struggling to get it on the
Well,
road, and if you
Tommy has some peg in his bowls, you see.
right.
Good.
So,
Ooh.
so
That was a bit bitchy, that was.
No, not bitter. We just know. We
Not
just
that
know
you're
that John
bitter that you've
doesn't.
lost 20.
we won't hold it against him, the left-handers union, will we? But no, it's left against right, and Tommy's just he's found the line. Might have overplayed it a touch. I don't know. John's looking. I think that might have stayed in at Tommy's.
Looking at John's body language here.
Yeah, I think so. He's picked up one of his balls.
He's
I think it's
looking
one to Tommy.
confident.
Yes,
Mm.
Tommy signals, and
So we'll never know if he goes down the edge.
no, we won't. I'm sure John.
That's
will
a
be
great edge, by the
persevering.
way.
Oh,
What an edge that is.
It is. It is. Real dips in the corner, and the jack really snakes and picks up pace.
You think you're on the road and you're not. You think
Yeah.
you've played a wild and it goes to the block.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. There's lots of tricks, and the homesters go in and out of that because it'll catch you short coming out of the dips when you're coming up towards the road.
That's
where
a
we're
real
standing.
lead.
Tommy's led a Vereran,
Yeah, brilliant.
2 inches off.
I think we put the mockers on.
Oh, I think we have.
John.
I think we have. Well, Tommy's been coming for a few years, and he obviously is finding the green to his liking now. I mean, it's such a quality field. It's hard to put. It's like stick a needle in the donkey, isn't it?
Serial winners. They're all serial winners.
All this talk about that game. Have you seen the score of the other one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. 11. The score now is 11-4, and
Simon.
That's Simon. Now moving away from Wayne.
Well, he got off
He
to a
was good in
flyer
practice
against
with
Cookie.
Simon.
Yeah,
Good
and
in
he got off to a
practice,
flyer
yeah.
with Cookie. He was never in danger of losing. Oh, there you go. Ditchfield's on.
Well, I still think it'll be a very, very close game. But yes, I mean Simon beating Glyn really serves notice on the field that he's really up for it this evening. Wayne not taking any chances with his second ball, happy to take one and move on, leading out at 5-11.
Well, there was a few gasps when they looked at the odds when I came in this afternoon that Cookson was outsider of the 8, having won it 2 or 3 times. But the bookies, they're right again.
Yeah, well, how often are they wrong? Not that often, but yeah, they know what they're doing. They don't normally come away and say, "Oh, we've been cleaned out." But there you go. We'll see. So, are you happy with how your season's going, Kev? You've going in a lot of competitions now, and
A lot happier than I was a couple of months ago because it looked like I might have to stop playing. I was struggling a bit.
oh right,
Bit of a knee injury and what have you, but
Yeah.
I've sort of got through that and I'm
Yeah.
enjoying it now. I had to drop out of a couple of things earlier on,
right, right.
but now we're sort of full steam ahead, in
Good.
as much as we can get in and playing as much as possible.
Getting older, Roger, isn't he? Getting older.
well,
Be in the
I
vet
know.
soon.
You know.
Like Cookie,
Thank God
he's
we're not
playing
the
in the
only ones
vets, you
getting
know.
older.
Standing with you two is like being in with the Muppets. Hey?
We'll have our Zimmer frames with us next
Waldorf and Stadler in the box. Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely, absolutely. And
No.
you're making a few appearances for the vets now, aren't you, Michael?
Yes, well, I'll try. Win the odd game.
Didn't I see you with Wales County?
Yes, I played for
Vets
Wales
team?
Vets. I played for Wales,
played
yes.
for
So
Wales. Congratulations.
and against Manchester, and then up against Cheshire, two of my former.
Could you? How could you? Did you get some stick?
Off Manchester lads, yeah.
Another one for Tommy. 14-7. It's getting a little
it
dark
is.
here for John.
Well, John's got to really. They changed something. Well, he's got to get in
He's
first.
got-
He's got to get in first. That's
Got to
that's the
get
key
in
thing.
first, yeah.
It's right. That's it now. It's got to be. It's getting near desperate times, but I think Tommy's just really taken to the pace of these corners.
Well, you know, Tommy, when he gets in that little groove and he starts jogging after him,
Yes.
he's
Yeah,
almost
yeah,
unstoppable.
deadly.
You've got to stop him playing early on, and if you don't, you're in trouble.
Well, this ball's just hung on the back of the green, just gone a yard and a half through. John will fancy beating that.
Looks underneath.
Yeah. Is he going to just stop in time? Yeah, stop the length.
Good ball.
Round of applause down there. Must be a Welshman
Yes.
on Bailey with you,
with
you, Rog.
With his money on her, yes. But last year we had Mike Holden here, and he commented on how quiet the crowd was. You know, great to see so many people here. What do you reckon, guys? There's maybe about 300 around the green. Do we think 200 to 300?
Yeah,
At least.
Yeah. But
You are right, they're quiet.
yeah.
I think they need to do the raffle and get something
They'll
going.
be shouting when they win the raffle. Yeah. But it's great to have this as a centrepiece, and I just want to give a shout out for the guys here who have been battling manfully with the technology. Tom, Sam, and Richard at Blue Border Sports, and it's great. It's great.
He's
that
happy
they come
now.
and support this every year, and we really appreciate it, and the fact that they put up with us guys commentating is very well received by us all. But no, they do a great job and bring this really good occasion in a great cause to life, and coming all the way from Pudsey to do this is great.
Tremendous production as well. Like I said before, I've spent a few hours just watching all the previous videos, and they're absolutely tremendous, great quality, and
Yeah, it's,
Really good
I've
stuff,
heard
lads.
people-
Really
I've
good
heard
stuff.
people
That's-
say that-
that's
that's
gonna
20
cost him
quid,
a
thanks,
tenner.
Tom. Fiver off you two lads as well,
Is
please.
it, boys?
Thank you.
Anyway, back to the bowling. John Bailey did indeed get in to pull it back to 8-14. He's now
He's going
changed
for that
his
edge
time.
again.
He's gone for the edge.
He'll go for that edge again.
He really wants to sort of try, and
That's a good ball.
now played a real bowl. I think he's lying one.
Yeah, his
Tommy's
others-
not going to be shy along this edge.
Yeah,
I think here he
Backham's in a
goes.
good shot
Here he
here,
goes.
though.
Tommy's coming right at this. Going to strike right through it. He's looking at it. Ooh, no. Just over the top, and John now. It's potentially Michael. He's on this bottom edge, and you think that's where he's going?
That's
don't
where
you?
he's going.
Yes,
100%.
I don't think I'll have a bet against you on that, because John does love this bottom edge.
He's looking.
He's looking straight away. He glanced to see all clear. The runway is clear.
I drove down today thinking, how am I going to play John? I've watched all these videos. How am I going to play him? I'll try him up that edge. Callum says, you don't want to do that. You don't want to try that edge. One of the others maybe? Not that one.
Yeah. No, that is not the edge to try him on. And he's duly obliged by putting one Well, probably a side toucher, if not.
Meanwhile, Mr. Coupe is banging them on it
Yes.
like a machine.
Yes.
Tommy's looking at this, you know.
Just underneath Tommy. John looking to couple up. He really needs a run on this edge, and he has coupled up. Now Tommy's not going to be shy of this one. I think we've got some more fireworks coming, boys. Just playing a 2 yard over bowl, 3 yard over bowl.
He's not liking it.
Turned his back on it, and that's a 2 to John.
Here we go.
And there we go. So the comeback has begun.
And Ditchfield just cleared the end over here and desperately needed it at 14-6.
Yeah. Yes, he's
11-14. It's in the balance, this.
yeah. John continuing along this edge and then going into these dips. And it's all about keeping Tommy under pressure and putting a good lead on.
Pace
3
looks
behind
good.
now.
Pace looks good.
He's 5 foot over.
It's not.
Tommy looks to be a little bit over himself. Oh, he's picked the jack, but he's pushed it to John's bowl, and John is
DT.
on. DT straight away pointing to John. So a bit of a break there for John.
Hey, a shout for the ref. What a great ref.
Yeah. Oh,
Number one
saying-
in
we
were
Wales.
saying.
Number one in Wales, by the way.
Well, I think
Maybe
beyond.
further afield than
And
Wales.
beyond. Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. He is. He's, we were actually mentioning that earlier in the commentary. What a great referee DT is. He's just there on hand when you want him. He's a top class, very experienced referee.
Have you thought about doing a bit of refereeing, Roger?
No. I think I would be. I think I'd get dog's abuse, Michael, especially from you.
Tommy's just played a great bowling off his own there.
He has. He's just used that. That could be a big turning point.
That's a big point.
Time will tell. But so now he leads it. 15-11 leading out. Tommy straight away is going back into the corners.
Still within 4 though, John. No, it was a lot worse 5 minutes ago. So
Indeed.
useful edge.
And Simon seems to have, I don't know, just got Wayne struggling for the line here, and he gets another one, goes 15-6 in front, and I must admit, I didn't think. I know there's a long way to go still yet, but I didn't think that Simon would be having this sort of lead over Wayne, given Wayne's performance and the fact that he's the defending champion. But that's the beauty of bowls. You just never know what's going to happen from 1 minute to the next.
That must have been some game there, Wayne and Callum.
Oh, yeah.
Was it
Played
good one?
real.
Yeah,
Wayne
I've not seen
played.
one.
He played
superb.
1 inch of it, but
real
played superb.
in the corners. Brilliant.
Yeah.
And of
Wayne
course, they're
in the
now
corner.
playing a different length, you see, and he's just struggling to pick it up.
Yeah. And of course now, because the sun is just starting to set, the green, you know, the old classic. It's gone 8 o'clock. Going a yard 5 foot heavier. Just can throw people off. Because this green does have a habit of actually going dead when the sun gets off it.
He needs to counter away, and he's got plenty of room. But it looks like it's going out.
Yeah, it's
Wow, that's
struggling with
Well,
his
this is-
line. It's
this
just
is-
struggling
yeah.
with his line. Yeah, I'm afraid it's like the dreaded. Well, if you're not getting a length and you're not quite hitting the line, then you really are in trouble. And that's another 2 to Simon.
you're playing Simon though. Simon's relentless, so
Yeah,
the time he gives you 4 feet, you just have to take it.
Yeah.
If you don't, it's
No,
another
that's
nail in
it.
the.
No, that's it. And Tommy got a single in this corner, and he's leading back out down towards the shelter. Played a length bowl. And,
John's isn't
John's
stopping.
turn to
It's gone. It's
struggle.
gone under. John needs to count this end, otherwise that game's slipping away.
Yeah.
I mean, 16-11.
Tommy's after this. He obviously likes this. He's stalking it.
Well, there's room here.
There is room. But
If he
it's gotta
doesn't
be
play
played.
one here, then he's in big
Yes,
trouble.
Yes.
18-11.
Absolutely desperately needs to count on this, John, and he's running after it.
Just runs
He
a bit
must
down
like it.
there, you
There is a
know.
bit of finish
Just
down the
yes, there's
hill.
a bit of finish, but is he enough?
It's starting to bend. I don't know. I don't even know whether it's saved.
We're looking at body language, not getting anything
And
from either player.
no.
All the crowd.
No.
No.
Wake 'em up.
Nobody's. Oh, John's
Ah,
just
Bailey
signalled.
won.
John's signalled. So
Ooh.
that was a big ball then. To give him another lifeline. 4 behind.
And he's not gone for the edge.
No. Trying something different. Again, what he doesn't know about this green isn't worth knowing. All the years that he's played it, so I think he's just trying to move Tommy around just to try and catch him out with just something awkward.
Just a bit of a reach from there, because you've got to get up that bank.
Yes, he's
So let's just see if you can just catch him out here.
well, he's got a clear run, Tommy, and he'll win it on a length.
I think that's a perfect example of the bias in the ball, though. You know,
Yes.
you've got John there who's left-handed.
Yeah.
He's coming across himself, and his bowls are staying straight on this jack.
Yes. He's found the
Tommy's
line.
right-handed and still swinging.
Yes. That's an excellent second ball from
Real
John
ball.
Bailey.
Well, this-
really good
this
pressure
is-
ball.
They introduced Tommy as being the best reacher
Mm.
and through player, and
this is
here,
it.
To back.
and
Yeah, just the speed.
I've just cursed him there saying that before he sent it, but
But he's played absolutely the right ball. It was just the weight just didn't allow it to for the bias to kick in, and it slid by. So 3 in it now. Again, I'm sure John will find an awkward piece of land for Tommy to fathom.
So John left-handed over the crown. Needs to count this end just to cut that gap.
something of a procession this other game. Simon leading out for game now, 19-6.
It's a very impressive performances from Simon Coupe. I must admit, I don't think anybody around the green, having seen Wayne's first performance, saw this sort of margin in the game. I thought it'd be very, very close between them. But
So who's won the 50p on that game?
I have, I think, Michael. 50p in the bank.
I forgot.
It's your age.
Conveniently
It's
forgot.
not over yet.
Uh,
Only 19.6. Well, there's room here for Wayne. He's already sent his ball. And he's turned his back on it already.
Yes. Wayne it's just the body language is Wayne's very out of sorts. Well, it's just slithered in for him.
But this is struggling to get there.
And
Bailey 2,
yeah,
within 1.
Meanwhile, John's just found that little awkward mark again, going down the teeth of the slope, getting Tommy overplaying. He's moving him around the green a little bit here. Really clever play from John Bailey. Now he's taking him back up where they were previously. So Tommy will know the pace up here a little bit more now. It's all about John's lead. Well, I like the line, but
It's going to give him a yard.
just going to give him a bit of
Live and let live.
daylight. Yes, it is. Well, Tommy's got a good road. It's all on his length here, because Tommy's will work hard to the jack, and it's first bowl, nearly a length, yard to get in. John's tightened it up. It's all about his length. The road is
Big
perfect,
chance. Big chance.
and he's played an absolutely
What a good ball.
fantastic
great ball.
ball.
Tommy will play at this.
It's one of those that can go wrong here. You could end up 2 down. But yeah, he's got to play at it. He's not going to mess about.
Which peg would you come in here, Kev? Would you turn it over? Well, Tommy has done.
He's asking for the other peg a little bit. Yeah. Got
He's
it.
hit
Nah,
it.
block off.
That's a great,
That's the end of that.
connection that he got.
Yeah, got it.
It's one of them. He's a fantastic hit, but John will be happy that the jack sprung.
Target just slightly bigger finger peg, wasn't it? So,
Yeah.
Good,
Great executed strike. Kill the end, so they go again. Bailey 15-16 leading out. Have you ever been in the Colwyn Bay Festival, Kev?
I've not. We came
Would
down.
you ever be tempted to come and join it?
I did. It's just time off work, Roger, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because
Fleetwood's gone.
Fleetwood's gone, but I go to the Isle of Man every June, and I'm actually going September this time, but took my wife out in June and really enjoyed the island. So we'll go back in September. But yeah, I'll need to have a look at Colwyn Bay. Yeah.
Yes.
Give it a chance.
Well, the numbers are up this year, obviously because of the Fleetwood situation. And I didn't know whether you went to Fleetwood. Did you go to Fleetwood, Michael?
I did. I once lost in the final
Oh.
to Richard Bentley, that fireman from York.
Yes,
Remember?
Richard Bentley, yes.
17-11 up and
yeah.
lost.
Oh.
Not that I'm still bitter.
I still
but
remember it.
17-11 up,
You're still
line 2, and
Are you
he's
still sleeping at night?
no. Lost
Losing
19.
finals is a killer, Mike.
Oh,
Roger wouldn't know. He wins always.
No. Just having many a sleepless night over things. But Mike was commenting about you playing at Patrickcroft, Kev, and you going there for the first time in the competition. And Mike reckons that you won the competition in your first time of entering. Is this correct? Is his bowls knowledge on the mark, or does he need to work
Mike
on
thinks
it?
I won Patrickcroft. Yeah. So we'll have that 50p. No, I lost to Brian Duncan in the final.
That's
there you
not
go.
bad. That's not
For-
bad.
for-
Not bad. Good call.
First time in it, I think he'd won it 3 times.
Oh,
And they had a big sheet on the wall, because
Yeah.
the Patrickcroft suite lasted for about 6 months.
right.
You fixed your game up and you went.
Yes.
And at the end of the tournament, in Duncan's half, 41-17, 41-19, 41-12.
Yeah.
My half, 41-40, 41-39, 41-38. Yeah. But we're in the final, and at 38 apiece, right in front of the stand,
Oh.
I had 2 bowls that stopped
Yeah.
and fell off.
Oh.
And Brian's
Amazing.
picked the block up,
Amazing.
banged 3 on, and that was the end of that.
Oh,
So, Mike, no, you've
what
done your money again, Mike.
Well, but
I lost the final, I'm afraid.
good
I didn't
shout,
win
though,
Patrickcroft.
good
But
shout.
Was a good
It
shout.
was a good
But
shout.
tremendous performance
Yeah,
because
oh,
I mean
absolutely.
that
Sounds like
field,
he was playing lucky not to
128
win it,
top-notch players.
it was
Great
brilliant.
comp.
Brilliant. I said, you know, I was talking about Patrickcroft the other day and Callum. Yeah. So I used to play Patrickcroft, and I used to have it in my head. If somebody's going to beat me, they're going to have to lie about 55 bowls because I'm going to knock 15
Tom's
off.
just played a real pressure ball
Yep.
there, boys. Yep.
If Callum was in Patrickcroft, you'd have to lie 100. You'd have to lie 100 because it was a small green and you could hardly miss a strike on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you imagine a game
Yes,
against?
yes,
If anybody was ever going to beat Callum
They'd
on
be-
Patrickcroft, blimey,
be,
that'd be a challenge.
They'd be calling time on him in terms of having to turn out the lights for
But-
the neighbours.
Well, I've got to say,
But in
I
term-
played you both at Patrickcroft, but you don't remember it. Yeah, played.
Really?
Yeah, played you,
All
kid.
right.
There's something far more important going on here.
Yes, there is, and it's now 17-16 to John. This legendary ability that he's got to fight down the home straight is coming to the fore again. He really is making hay out of this mark up the middle at the moment.
Got to say, it's a good mark this because you've got to be there, but then it finishes.
It is
Drops
all
the
about
wind,
a lot.
finishes.
It really is
But
all
if you
about
play to be short, you'll finish 3 yards short.
And as I was saying, the green's changing all the time, so it's really hard to adjust and
Tommy
find a length.
swing
and
in
it's-
here with this peg.
Yeah, and it's the left against right again to try and get on that.
Senses victory now, Bailey. I can see it. got his game face on.
There'll be a few twists and turns in this game yet. But John is digging deep at the moment, and he's finding this line with his balls, and they're not swinging in anything like Tommy's balls are swinging. Well, Tommy set it on a much lower land, and now it's climbing.
Still swinging,
but he's looking for
still
the
going.
connection. Don't know. Might have gone out. Johns is a bit short with the ball, but he is looking for 2, I think. He signals 2.
And the other game, the comeback you referred to, is on. We're leading out 11-19.
11-19. That 50p still in my pocket, Rog.
Yes.
Just lost it.
Yes.
Happy
Yes. Oh, dear me, this is turning out to be a good evening, gentlemen. Well, Wayne, it's...
That's not bad from Wayne, is it?
He's getting into a rhythm with this jack. I mean, he was so out of sorts with himself, but he's really sort of like pulled it back together again. But in this, John Bailey leading out 19-16 up, and he's a yard over with his lead. Tommy's after this, and he must like this ball. This is first ball all the way.
Real ball, this Tommy.
Right up to the jack, and when he needed to find one, he has found one. That is a toucher. John playing up.
Not a long.
He's
not
looking
far
at it.
off
He's
this.
done it.
Looking at it. He's
What a good ball.
What a
ball.
What a ball that is.
Them left-handers, the dynamite.
Is that one and a measure again? I've heard that once tonight.
Well, yes. My word, what a pick that is. Could only just see half the jack there, and he got a good contact on that half a jack. Oh, so Tommy now is lying game against. One thing's for sure, gents, he isn't going to be short.
Well, a couple of foot through, he hits his own ball, he can knock it in.
Yeah,
or he
it's
can
not,
hit
it's not a
John's.
strike,
so
it's just a reach like John's
a
just
little
done.
reach.
Then
Which played
again,
out
then
for
again, game against, get into him.
Oh,
we
right
heard
in.
the,
Got the gap. He's got the
we
gap
heard
the
the shout off the side there, somebody right behind it, right through the middle.
Got the gap.
So was the referee right? He tips it as a 2.
Yeah, so
Must be
DT,
I have to say,
DT says 2, it's 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Do
He's
you
a
know what? I
very
don't
good
want to
judge.
go against him, but from here, the Veteran's got a chance. But obviously,
It's all angles,
Obviously,
isn't it? Yeah,
that's from here.
Yeah, yeah.
we shall soon find out.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a measure. So one taken out, and John is now measuring for game. Looks very tight. Looks very tight for me. I'm inclined to agree from here, but obviously we're not standing over it. But DT is normally a good judge.
Well, I'm not one to argue with referees, so...
You've always been good as gold, haven't you, Michael? Always. Yes, indeed.
I remember going to the Isle of Man once and a referee tried to stop me running after a ball, walked right in my line and I knocked him flying.
There's a video of Alan Broadhurst and Vernon Lee on the Waterloo if you ever want to watch that. It's called a body check.
Oh. So who's body checking who?
But let's put it this way, Vernon didn't body check Big Al.
And there was a lot it bounced off him, did he? Well, they've gone back. This is a second measure on this.
Yeah, it looks close, this.
It does look really close.
Pretty desperate
And
for
it-
Tommy as well,
and
because
it
we're
is-
shaking
and
hands
it
if
is
he's...
for game.
You'll take
If
a
it's
dead
two-
end
I
here,
think
won't
they'll be
it?
lucky to split.
Or a dead measure.
Be lucky to split them.
Yeah, well,
It's
what
two.
an eagle-eyed referee.
The
That was
decision has been made,
absolutely
and it is
spot
2
on.
to John Bailey. So John Bailey wins the first semi-final 21-16. John Bailey 21, Tommy Johnson 16. A great game.
Now just look at this other game.
Yeah, now now we have the what could be
The,
one of the
the
most
game you've
amazing-
forgotten for the last 5 minutes.
Yes, yes, as we
It's
were
now
looking at the end of this game.
15-19. What was it? 19-6.
That's amazing, absolutely amazing. And it just shows how important it is to have that jack. So Wayne is at one stage it was 19-6, if I'm not mistaken, gentlemen. But now it is 15-19, and Wayne leading out the jack.
Well,
And
I've got to
then
say,
we
I never give up on him. Never give up on me 50p.
On your 50p. No, you don't. You don't. And in this game, at this level of quality bowling, people should never give up.
Oh, Simon.
And Simon is, when people were starting to think of those most amazing comebacks, Simon has just played full corners, more or less a back toucher.
And it's fell over. Standing up, he's
Yeah.
got something to it, but it's fell over. He's really nothing to go at.
He's got half a ball to. I think Wayne's having a go the other peg. He's looking at it. Oh, it's a great effort. It's a great effort. Just slid by. But he's played that bowl in the knowledge that he's got a bowl only 18 inches over at the back. Simon.
But if you lead a bowl 2 feet off and you end up shaking hands,
Yeah.
then you've got to say fair
Yeah,
play.
yes,
You've just
you
played
have
2
to.
real bowls,
You
mate.
have to.
And it
And
looks
it's-
like,
well,
looks
I
like
think
Simon
that
has.
the way the crowd
The crowd has
clapping,
said too.
looks like Simon has snuck in with her a second, and he has. So Simon Coupe wins the second semi-final, 21-15. So well, thank you, gentlemen. We'll be back very, very shortly for the final between Simon Coupe and John Bailey.
Thank you. I'll go for a sausage roll.